Okay, so my goal here is to cover this information about the logo so that it can be forwarded on to whomever you trust and they can really get a grasp for what it is that you're looking for. Initially took a logo that you see here and just mocked it up. That way we could get this website underway. Where that comes from is a logo that I took it and I wiped it out. So I mean we have to replace this. But ultimately, if somebody's taking notes, you're looking for a seal, something like a stamp, and that's how we arrived at this. And then you and I have spoken further about having something that looks kind of burnt in or embossed. Just something that has a real classy look, something that looks like it's been engraved almost. And here's another example of that here. And then I've got several others. I can send this file out with the links, but if you look here, one of the things we talked about, even if you use a marketing guy, he can handle a branding package, cards, the letterhead, general headers, things like that. But ultimately, unless that person can produce exactly what you're looking for, we'll probably use something like 48 Hours logo or Design Crowd. And these pages go deep with all kind of designers. Here's one. I did some looking around, and if you see this piece here, looks a lot like what you've described. Could be a part of the branding package. This piece here is another one, and then I showed you that one as well, where you're saying you almost want it to look like it's burnt in. Obviously, we would straighten this up and clear some of that background up, because our goal is to be able to put this onto cards, just like you see here. It looks really nice. Having it raised or appearing to be raised or lowered is not a difficult effect. I think just about anybody can get us there on that. But you mentioned it's important to you. Obviously, the colors that you mentioned are black, platinum, and gold. I also found what is a little more literally burnt in, and I think we can even mimic some of that effect, where that almost that burnt haze look, and still be able to have the color and kind of the 3D effect that you that you see in a piece like this, or even that foil. And then you also brought up Donald Trump's branding, and so that's very simplistic, looks nice. You would have somebody probably design more of a crest for you, and you would have what would look like that. Again, that can be a part of your branding package where you've got 2 or 3 variations. And if you're wanting to keep it more like the stamp we talked about, I mean, designers have endless choices, and a lot of them will design it on their own, to be able to use something like this and start layering their effects in behind that. But I know you wanted to get this information across to the person that you're wanting to do this work. Please forward this on to them. The other thing I would say is that we want to have these white edges as much as we can, so that we can put it on paper, letterhead, and we don't have a black block or even a shaded square, then all of a sudden it doesn't blend with the page. I think that's pretty important. And then if we want to have 1 or 2 other color schemes that is the same logo, a lot of professional companies obviously do that, where they've got their black scheme. We can expand on it, but for starters, we need to have something that's very universal that we can apply to Facebook cover photos, all of those things that we're not going to have an issue with format. Hope this helps. If y'all have any questions, give me an email.